Imagine a world where the Soviet Union never collapsed. This alternative history would shape global politics, economics, and society in profound ways. The fall of the Soviet Union in 1991 marked the end of the Cold War, a period of intense rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union. Without the collapse, the Cold War dynamics would have persisted, affecting everything from international relations to technological advancements. The political landscape would remain tense, with the Soviet Union continuing to exert influence over Eastern Europe and other regions with its satellite states. Countries like Poland, East Germany, and Hungary would stay under the Soviet sphere of influence, and the Iron Curtain would still divide Europe. The wave of democratization that swept Eastern Europe in the late 20th century would not have happened. The arms race between the US and the Soviet Union would persist, with both superpowers investing heavily in their military capabilities, including nuclear arsenals. The risk of nuclear confrontation would remain high, and proxy wars in various parts of the world would continue as both powers vied for global influence. Economically, the Soviet Union would face ongoing challenges. The planned economy, with its inefficiencies, would struggle without the collapse and subsequent reforms. The Soviet Union might attempt to introduce limited market mechanisms to boost productivity while maintaining political control. However, the economic stagnation would continue to be a significant issue. The global economy would be different as well. The integration of Eastern European countries and former Soviet states into the global market would not take place. This would impact trade patterns, economic growth, and development in those regions. The European Union might not expand eastward, affecting its economic and political landscape. Technologically, the competition between the US and the Soviet Union would drive significant advancements. The space race, which led to remarkable achievements like the moon landing, would continue, possibly leading to more ambitious projects, such as manned missions to Mars. The rivalry would also spur developments in computing, telecommunications, and other high-tech industries. On a social level, life in the Soviet Union and its satellite states would be marked by continued state control and limited personal freedoms. The lack of political reforms would mean that dissent would be suppressed, and human rights would be restricted. The absence of openness would stifle creativity and innovation in the arts and sciences. Internationally, the Soviet Union would continue to support and sponsor communist movements and governments around the world. This would lead to prolonged conflicts and political instability in many regions as the US and the Soviet Union backed opposing sides in various civil wars and insurgencies. The Middle East would remain a focal point of superpower rivalry, with continued involvement in places like Afghanistan, leading to protracted conflicts. Culturally, the divide between the East and West would persist. The Soviet Union would continue to promote its ideological and cultural values, countering Western influence. Propaganda and state-controlled media would shape public perception, presenting the Soviet way of life as superior while Western culture would symbolize freedom and prosperity. Environmental issues would be impacted as well. The Soviet Union's industrial policies, known for significant pollution, would continue, contributing to global environmental problems. International cooperation on environmental issues would be even more difficult in a world divided by Cold War tensions. The Soviet Union's existence would influence global organizations and alliances. NATO would maintain its focus on countering Soviet expansion, and the Warsaw Pact would remain as the Eastern Bloc's military alliance. The United Nations would continue to be a battleground for ideological conflicts, with the US and the Soviet Union often at odds in the Security Council. Education and scientific research would be areas of intense competition. Both superpowers would invest heavily in education and research to ensure technological and intellectual superiority, leading to significant scientific breakthroughs and advancements in various fields. Public health would be another area of interest. The Soviet Union had a robust public health system, and its continuation might contribute to advancements in medical research and healthcare delivery. However, the secretive nature of the Soviet regime could hinder international collaboration on global health issues, making it difficult to address pandemics and other health crises effectively. In this hypothetical scenario, the world where the Soviet Union never collapsed paints a picture of a more polarized and tense global landscape. The persistence of the Cold War would shape political, economic, technological, and social developments in profound ways. While the rivalry would drive innovation and progress in some areas, it would also lead to continued conflicts, human rights abuses, and environmental degradation. This alternative history underscores the importance of seeking peaceful resolutions to conflicts and striving for a world where cooperation and mutual understanding prevail over rivalry and division.